Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Meneth, Nemo, it's good to see you guys and everyone else. It's good to feel your vibes. I hope you're all having a good day. Raid, are you there?
No.
Good.
Okay.
I don't know very much about the game that Raid's chosen, other than I hear it shares a number of similarities with Breath of the Wild. And I've tried a lot to play Breath of the Wild on PC using emulation, and I could never get gyro aiming to feel right. And it was kind of a deal breaker. Even though seeing the game running at a very high resolution, and I don't know if you guys have seen any of that stuff. The Dolphin emulator is amazing, and Simu, that one's really amazing too. There's some really cool stuff. But I just couldn't get gyro aiming to feel good. It would work, but it just didn't feel good. So I'm hoping that maybe this game, you know, of all the similarities that it holds, I hope that that's not one of them. And I don't see why it would be, you know, it's an actual PC game. I was going to just buy the game, but Sarcastic Warlock has been talking about, is it Uplay? Ubisoft Plus. It's their subscription thing. And I have Game Pass, which has been amazing. But I don't really play any Ubisoft games. And so I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just buy the game. But then I thought, you know, I don't really, if it's a long game, the chances of me finishing it are pretty low. So it might be worth paying $14 for a month or two, at least up to the cost of the game, even though I know I'm probably not going to play it all the way through, especially with Cyberpunk coming out. So I went ahead and did the Ubisoft Plus thing. Even though I'm not a big fan of the subscription thing. I'm a big fan of not paying a lot of money for games, and that's nice. But like deep in my core, I'm just unsettled about the idea. And the more convenient it becomes, and the more cost-effective it becomes, and the better it becomes for the consumer, I recognize all of that. But the more uncomfortable I feel with it, because as we've seen with music, it is almost uncommon now for people to purchase and own music. Same thing with most media, right? Television shows, films. Most people don't buy those things anymore. They just pay for access to them. And then things start getting censored. Episodes start getting removed. All of a sudden, they lose a license for the soundtrack or a song in the soundtrack, and now you can't buy the game anymore. You can't even play the game. What if, you know, I think about these Transformers games that I have. You can't buy them anymore on Steam, like officially. But I purchased them, so I have them, and I can play them anytime I want. But if it was a subscription thing, that wouldn't be the case. So it's kind of where my mind goes with the concept. But I can't deny that it's probably a good deal. I can't deny that I've probably wasted a tremendous amount of money paying full price or even sale prices for games that I'm likely never going to play. And historically, there's been a bit of a feeling that they can sell you that makes you feel good for owning it. A sense of pride in the library that you've built. But over time, that sense of pride gets diminished simply because the marketing tactics that are employed to create that sense of pride, the marketing tactics that have existed for ages to encourage you to build your library, now that energy is getting diverted to making subscription models feel more and more appealing. And then we end up feeling, wow, I feel like this is more appealing. But do I feel that way naturally? Or do I feel that way because I've been influenced to feel that way? And sometimes it's easy to overthink these things. But of all the complicated things, of all the big financial decisions to make in life, it's nice to wrestle with game-related financial decisions. Because at the end of the day, these are video games. And I'm just happy to still be playing them and still be enjoying them. All thanks to my Steam controller. And I have to admit, the Steam controller has definitely changed the way I play games. I don't necessarily feel compelled to finish a game most of the time. I feel compelled to finish my config. And once I finish my config, I feel like everything else in the game is like New Game Plus, you know? It's just additional things I can do now with my time. Until some other game comes out that looks like an interesting, you know, opportunity for Steam controller creativity, or problem solving at least. But after I jumped into the Ubisoft Plus thing, I started looking around at the games that they had available. And there's a lot of games there that I have been curious about and interested in, but I haven't really felt like buying them, you know? It's weird, I know that I can refund games, and I refund a lot of games, especially when it comes to VR. I refund so many games. And I'm so grateful to be able to have that option, because I've discovered a lot of wonderful games that I never would have discovered if I didn't know that I could refund it if it sucked, especially with VR. It's really hard to tell sometimes if what you're looking at is accurate. But there's a tier below that where I'm not necessarily even interested in going through the hassle of buying the game and installing it and then possibly refunding it. I'm still curious, but there are just many other games that I'm a little more curious about that are at the tier above that. And that doesn't mean that the tier below that are bad games. It doesn't mean that my favorite games don't exist within that tier. Maybe they do, and I just don't know it. There's a number of those games available to me now for my subscription. And in that sense, there's really not a lot of games here that I think that I would even want to buy necessarily at this point, because they're all in that very low tier. Far Cry, for example. I loved the first Far Cry. I played through that game multiple times over the years, and I even purchased and started playing the remake or remaster, and then I refunded it because, it's a whole nother story. But there's been a bunch of other Far Cry games. Blood Dragon, I love that game. I do own that one. What else? Oh, Far Cry 2. That game was great. I played through that one. I really liked that one. Far Cry 3 was the last one that I got. And it didn't do it for me. I think maybe there were other games that were competing for my attention at the time, and they kind of won out. And I didn't really finish that game, or I don't even think I got very far. Maybe a couple of hours. Maybe a couple hours in. And then after that, all the Far Cry games that came out, they looked great. They looked awesome. They make for great trailers and stuff. But I just wasn't really compelled to ever check them out. I don't know what it was. Same thing with the Assassin's Creed games. I've never had an interest. Never. I mean, maybe like the first couple, you know, when it was like new and fresh. But then after a while, it all just seemed kind of ridiculous. It all just seemed sort of like, well, I really don't know. I don't think I've really formed my thoughts about Assassin's Creed and why I feel the way I do about it. But I always watch the reviews for the games. I enjoy watching people talk about these games. I think some of them look really great. But it's just hard for me to feel compelled to pull the trigger on an Assassin's Creed game. And the same can be said for most Ubisoft games. Same thing with Watch Dogs. Again, loved the trailers and thought, oh, this is such a good idea. But then when they come out, I literally have no desire to jump in there and check them out. Just none at all. And I don't know why. Because people that I respect will say, this is a great game. I love it. These are great. I don't know what it is. I just can't do it. And I have no reason to have that opinion. You ever feel that way? It's not that I don't like it either. It's almost like being at a restaurant and you read the menu and you read something that sounds wonderful. Like it sounds totally fine, but you're never going to order it. That's how I feel with the Assassin's Creed games. There's nothing inherently there that I would say, oh, well, I don't want to play that because of X, Y, Z. Though, of course, there's always negative components, right, to every game that you could say, you know, it's too much this or it's too much that or whatever it is. What's funny is the Arkham games, the Batman games, I love those games. Even Arkham Knight, I love that game. I guess I got lucky with that one because everyone was complaining about performance issues, and while I had some performance issues, it wasn't anything at the time that was, you know, game breaking. And I had so much fun. And I loved the Batmobile stuff in that game. Of course, I'm playing with a Steam controller, and I think that has a lot to do with my experiences possibly being different from someone else's. But the Assassin's Creed games, in a lot of ways, you know, I think they're sort of similar in combat, at least, maybe. I mean, I can't say, you know, but from watching trailers and gameplay and reviews and stuff. You feel that way with a lot of games, Meneth? That's good to know. I wish I could really figure it out, but here's the thing. Now that I have, you know, I've got the Ubisoft Plus thing, I have access to a lot of these games that are on that lower tier that I'm curious about, but wouldn't bother to purchase and even refund. Like, I'm not even, you know, it's like, but now, yeah, I'll go ahead and install it and check it out. And if I don't like it, install it the next day. But maybe it'll blow me away. And maybe I'll be total Assassin's Creed guy. You know, I'll be that Assassin's Creed dude who wears the hood, the cloak and everything, and it's like, oh, look it, I'm so cool, Assassin's Creed, look it, do you see? Look at me, I like Assassin's Creed. Because those guys have all the fun, you know? Doing sick parkour in the park. Maybe that'll be me. It's not gonna be me. No, I'm never gonna be that guy doing the sick parkour in the park. I wish. Nah, it's just not in the cards.
Actually, I overwhelmingly agree with that.
Well, I'm glad we can agree about something.
Yes.
Arkham Knight was one of Nemo's favorite playthroughs to watch ever. Yeah. I'm a sucker for Batman games. A lot of them have really good stories, like surprisingly, you know? Hey, Nick Sage. He says, good evening, that's why I have Game Pass. It's so true. With so many games anymore, it's hard to play everything. It is. It's absolutely true. That's another way that they get us, you know? They just keep making so many good games that you never have enough time to play them. So it doesn't necessarily make sense after a while to keep dropping $60 on these AAA games so that you can what? Not ever finish it? Because how are you going to play a game that's like, there's 200 hours of content here? It's like, all right, let's do the math. I play a video game for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours a day. I'm going to be playing that game for the rest of my damn life. And I know that there's other games coming out, so how do I do this? So I don't even think about it anymore, you know, in regards of how much content is there. It's for me, there could be a couple hours. I mean, Proteus is a great example. There's an extremely limited amount of content in Proteus. Currently, it's early access, so we'll give them a pass. But even still, I want to use that as an example. The gameplay is so good, and it's so fun and rewarding that I don't care that there's not 200 hours worth of content. I kind of appreciate there not being. I think it keeps me coming back. You know, it doesn't feel so overwhelming. Almost like you can go to a buffet, but if you're not feeling extremely hungry, you feel like, well, let's not go to a buffet, you know? Like if I'm only gonna eat half a plate's worth of food, it doesn't really seem worth it. But that doesn't mean that the quality of the food at the buffet isn't good, even though that's kind of the case most of the times. But let's just say you're at a buffet where the quality of the food is very, very good. Even still, it doesn't really feel worth it to go to a buffet if you're just gonna have half a plate of food. And I think it's just because it's just overwhelming. There's just too much. And you feel like, well, unless I can experience all of it, I'm wasting my money. Even though that's really not the case. And I know that, but yeah, I am way more picky with the games that I play than the games that I buy. Because I'll buy games that I know that I really won't play very much. But like Fall Guys. I knew that was not going to be a game that I was like, this was going to be a game that I'm going to play for a long time. So in that sense, like the cost of the game, right, doesn't necessarily make sense in my situation. But for me, it was more of like a social event, you know? It was like a gaming cultural event, and I wanted to experience it. So that's kind of what that cost was. It was the price of admission to a gaming limited time gaming event thing. Not to say limited time, but you know, it's not the most popular game right now. Not that that matters. Obviously, I'm happy to play Cyberhook for 200 hours. See, and that's the thing too. You look at a game like Cyberhook, I'll just play that forever. Like I'll play that longer than maybe a lot of people would even play an Assassin's Creed game. In the same levels too. Because the gameplay, because that's why I'm playing, is the gameplay. And it's like, oh, you beat all the levels or whatever. So? You can still keep playing. Descenders is another one. I don't even play that game to beat it. I play that game to ride a bike. And I love it. I love it to ride a bike. It's such a good game for that. So it's funny. It's funny the way, over time, values sort of change in regards to what you feel like you're really paying for in a game. There are some games that I buy strictly because I like the developers. I know it may be controversial, but I really appreciate Chris Roberts. I'm not an employee of his, and maybe my opinion would be different if I were, but I appreciate visionary dudes like that who have crazy, ridiculously irresponsible levels of ambition. And I have no problem throwing money at Star Citizen just to see it continue, even though I'm not even playing it. I could. There's a tremendous amount of content in that game right now. There's music that I buy that I don't even listen to. There's bands that I support that I don't even like their music specifically. I mean, I like them, that's why I buy the music. But I don't listen to it because I don't really like it. But I don't want them to stop. I want them to keep going because what they're putting out is positive. It's good, and I want them to continue doing it because it's not just about me. Hello, Sarcastic Warlock. Good evening. You know, Warzone's a good example. I feel like they've done it right with Warzone. As a very, very anti-Call of Duty person since Modern Warfare, not anti, I'm not like against the game. It's just they have increasingly appealed less and less and less and less and less to me over the years. And that's not because I haven't played them or haven't tried. But then Warzone comes along and I'm like, another battle royale, come on. And then you play it and all of a sudden I'm like, man, I really like this. I really like this. And Warzone got me to buy Modern Warfare. And I bought a battle pass. Two things that I had no intention of doing. And I don't even feel bad about it. I've uninstalled Modern Warfare. I had some fun playing some of the different multiplayer modes and stuff, but anytime I'm playing that, I always feel like, oh, I'd rather be playing Warzone. But I don't feel bad because I feel like, man, these guys did good. And I like that. Even though in their case, it's not like they need my money. But still. Hey, Dr. Ravenholm, good to see you. Speedy Lee, good to see you. I hope you are all having a good day, good evening. Yeah, Star Citizen is kind of a unique one, in my opinion, because so much of the entertainment that I get from that game is the whole development process, the drama, the controversy and the salty players and the angry journalists that don't get it. And then the journalists that do get it, and some of them are still angry. Like, I like the whole thing. To me, it's like funding a documentary that is currently being made. You know, not exactly. Like, I mean, well, kind of, but I feel like it's like supporting something, an interesting story, and no matter what happens with that game, no matter what happens, if Chris Roberts one day takes all the money out of the accounts and flees to the Bahamas, and everyone's like, oh, fuck that guy, I'm still gonna be like, holy crap, that is an epic ending to this documentary, right? Like, not every story has a happy ending, and it doesn't need to have a happy ending. Of course, I want it to have a happy ending because I want that game, you know? I do want that game, but I think at the end of the day, I love knowing that that there's this company out there that's doing crazy stuff and way too ambitious for their own good. And I want to see it keep going. I want to know where it's going to go. How is this thing going to end? Is it going to blow up? Is it going to, are they actually going to do it? Are they actually going to release Squadron 42? Like, because the promise of that game is still so freaking epic. Even after all these years and even after all these other games have come out and announced things that they're going to be doing that are very ambitious as well, Star Citizen is still, and Squadron 42 in particular, is still just a ridiculous pitch. It's insane when you think about it. And I'm so happy to just be watching it all unfold. Oh no, audio is out of sync. That's not good. Uh-oh. I'll figure it out. Hey, Raid.
Yes.
Can you figure out what's wrong with the stream?
No.
I mean, technically, can you?
Yes.
Will you?
Maybe.
All right. Well, he's not going to be very helpful right now. So we're going to stand by and you guys hold on a second. And we'll be right back. All right. I've checked everything on my end. I've shut down some networking things that were probably not doing anything, but still. So if the problem persists, my sincerest apologies, but at this point, I blame YouTube. So if it is delayed, just imagine that you and your eyes in particular are simply looking in the future. That's all there is to it. Okay. Immortals. Fenyx Rising. With a Steam controller. Let's begin. I do have to make an adjustment in the game. Before we begin, checking for additional content. Why couldn't you do that the whole time we were sitting at that loading screen or at that startup screen? You goofy game. We're going to start a new game. What should we do? Should we go hard? I feel like we should go hard because it doesn't look like a super difficult game. And I don't want it to be so easy that it's too easy.
Beautiful Hera, Mother Divine, wisest Athena, mighty Poseidon, the Earth-shaker, zealous Artemis, with her deadly aim set to pierce even the heart of a hummingbird. Painted pigs, all of them. I see you there. Come closer.
Help me! Someone help! Someone!
None of this is your fault. You're the victim. All the mortals are, made in the bone workshop of fools. Jagged reflections from a broken mirror. Behold your god! This one killed 6 innocent children to satisfy her rage. They squabble, burn with jealousy, cheat, fight and murder. They're cruel, vindictive and selfish, and let the heel of Achilles, these witnesses will be their undoing. I have no such flaws. The rest have fallen. Only one stands between me and the rehabilitation of Olympus. Only the foulest, most arrogant, narrow-minded coxswain son of Kronos who trapped me beneath the earth. The one and only Zeus!
How I've missed you, Prometheus, my favorite castle.
You chained me to this rock and fed my liver to an eagle.
Out of love.
Aha. You need my help. Typhon is free.
You once fought beside his allies, the Titans. Convince him to stand down.
It's not that simple. He is even blocking my ability to glimpse the future. I cannot see past him. Go on. Blast me.
I can't. He took my lightning. He took everything. Even the other gods are missing.
Look to the mortals.
That's done. Those evil, imbecilic, tasteless parasites were all turned to stone.
One of those evil parasites is about to save your royal ass.
My ass is safely lodged in the Aegean stables, and mortals will never be anything but a mistake.
Care to make a wager? If I'm right, my sin of stealing fire and ensuring their survival becomes a blessing.
You find your punishment unjust?
It's a little extreme. Do we have a deal?
If you win, I'll end your punishment and set you free. But if I win, you help me stop Typhon, whatever it takes.
Very well. Let the tale of Fenyx be my redemption!
Oh no, not one of your stories. How long is this going to...
My tale begins at sea. A ship of soldiers returning from a faraway battle. Their victory ambushed by an unexpected storm. The sea tossed and turned. Waves churned to a froth. The line between sky and sea all but vanished. The mountainous peaks of the waves descended into valleys nearly as deep as Tartarus.
You're really painting a picture here.
It's an art. Point is, the ship didn't stand a chance. At dawn, the sun rose on the...
Such good brotherly love.
The lowest ranked among them, a shield bearer who dreamt of battle, but had seen nary a
Wait,
skirmish.
don't tell me.
Oh, okay, we pick our dude now. Or our chick if we want. Let's see. Ah, look at the hair. Blue.
The storm! Wake up!
What should we do? Oh, I like the big beard. Big beard boy.
As a beard.
Oh man, look at the chops on this guy. Oh. Oh, look at this.
Hair like...
Hair like
a waterfall on the cliffs of Santorini.
he's like a gray dude with gray hair. I like it. I like his little mustache.
It's like
Maybe he has gray skin.
of an empty room.
Oh, these are the eyes. Oh yeah, he's definitely got gray eyes, right? Wait, maybe not. Maybe he has gold eyes. Ooh. Blue is always a good choice, but I think I'm gonna go with the gray. Like something happened to him. Oh, you guys can't see his face. Here, check him out. Look at him. It's like he got struck by lightning.
Eyebrows.
No eyebrows.
As Narcissus.
Blue eyebrows. I like the black eyebrows. It seems fitting. Oh, look at that. I think they're like the big boo-boo across his eye. I think we're gonna go like that. Oh, we can make him a green dude. Maybe we'll make him a green dude. Like an alien. Yeah.
The storm! Wake up! I have to wake up!
The storm! Wake up! I have to wake up!
Yeah. So he's an alien who got struck by lightning right in his eye. Oops. Oh, I screwed up. There. And when he got struck by lightning in his eye, all of his hair turned gray, except for his eyebrows. Yeah, that's it.
There! I see him clear as day.
The lowest ranked among them, a shield-bearer who dreamt of battle, but had seen nary a skirmish. A teller of tales, not a doer of deeds. Fenyx.
What a name! Fenyx! Sounds like the sound a dumb bird makes when it lights itself on fire, which would be ridiculous. Although, I should write that down.
Washed up on an unknown shore, Fenyx awoke.
Wake up!
Locagos! Captain! Can anyone hear me? Looks like the only way off this beach is up that cliff.
He's a climber. You can tell he's a good climber because his skin is green.
Fenyx saw his captain and fellow soldiers in the distance. Through a trick of the light, he could almost see them waving and calling to him.
Fenyx! Again! You may not be your brother Ligiron, but I will make something of you yet.
Hold my shield. Try not to drop it this time.
I didn't see you there.
Don't let them get to you. They're just jealous. It's not often someone has a brother like yours.
Locagos! Locagos, can you hear me? You've gone cold. What magic is this? Ligiron! Where are you, brother?
Unarmed and lost, Fenyx was vulnerable.
I have to be calm. I have to follow my training.
Use the compass to locate objectives
No!
and orient yourself in the world. Find a weapon. What do you know? A weapon. That's a cool sword.
Ligiron! Brother!
Oh no.
You've always been my hero, my North Star. I will bring you back. I swear it.
Fenyx had never been allowed to hold the hallowed sword. A gift from Achilles for bravery in battle. It balanced perfectly in his palm, as if forged for it.
Achilles' sword? Brother must have been good in battle.
Is something wrong with your voice?
I never got a sword. Just saying.
Fenyx looked up. It was not a...
Uh-oh.
By the gods! Stay back!
He readied his sword for his first real fight.
Dodging, of course.
Fenyx felt his training come into focus.
I've put dodge on left pad click, which is what I normally do if dodge is important. If dodge is more important than sprint, then I'll put sprint on left pad click and hold, and dodge on left pad click. If sprint is more important in the game than dodge, then I do the opposite. Parry, I put on left trigger full pull, and left trigger soft pull, I believe is aim your bow, but I don't have a bow yet, so it doesn't do anything. And light attack is right trigger soft pull, and heavy attack is right trigger full pull. And the triggers are on hip fire, aggressive. I've got my snaps, and I've got my 180 snap. Look at that. That's cool.
I should be able to survey the land from up there.
Roger that. Let's go. Oh, water.
This is the largest statue of Hermes I've ever seen. I wonder who built it.
Besieged by challenge, totally alone, this young hero was determined to save his fellow soldiers and brother.
Boring! Can we skip this part?
No, this is important for the sense of atmosphere.
I like them. I like these guys. And I love their voices, man. Hey, Jason, how's it going, my man? Hope you're having a good Thursday.
Hermes, my old friend. It's an honor to finally meet you in person. Just don't tell anyone I'm speaking to you. I got in enough trouble for memorizing stories instead of tilling the soil back at home. And then the other soldiers? Well, they really don't appreciate a good story.
I was close. This is Immortals Fenyx Rising. It's apparently very similar to Breath of the Wild. Except, well, in ways that are relevant for me, it's on PC, and so we've got gyro aiming and all that good stuff. We're still here at the very beginning, unlocking things and learning about what all this stuff does.
It smells like honey, and the first day of spring, and my first kiss, all rolled into one.
Fenyx got into the ambrosia too? Prometheus!
You worried, Zeus, about losing this bet?
Please, he can't use it anyway.
Yet.
So 1 through 4 look like our abilities slash items. And those, we've mapped those to our shift button, right? So left grip. And this is almost how I always do abilities and stuff. In games like Warframe, for example. Even in Warzone, you know, if you think about it, sort of. Your grenade is like an ability, and I put that on 1. But here, 1 through 4 is on shift, right trigger, right shoulder, left shoulder. So left grip, and then any of those buttons.
Fenyx's destiny was becoming clear.
So far, all you have shown me is a mortal soldier who has fought one real battle, and Typhon grows stronger by the hour. Don't toy with me, Prometheus.
I swear to you that soldier shall be our salvation. For if he fails, and Typhon defeats us, Zeus, king of gods, the world will fall to chaos.
It's a big responsibility.
Temple of Apollo. If it has an oracle or a seer, they could help me undo this curse. A griffin? But they aren't real. Let me go! Help! Hey! I'll save you! I'm coming!
Let's go.
I need to find a way to reach that rift.
Revealing icons. While in Farsight, pay attention to the feedback received while looking at various types of locations. Press E to reveal their icons permanently. Oh. Sort of like marking. Ah, yeah, see that? Marking things in the distance. Mark the chest. We can mark all sorts of things that we can't even necessarily see. This is like spoiler mode because we're just marking it without even knowing it's there. All right, I don't think we need to do this though. For everything, we just need to focus on our objective. What is this? That's cool looking. I don't know what it is about, but it is cool looking.
How to get down? The pond!
The pond? So we jump? I feel like we got lucky. There could definitely have been alligators in this water.
With every step, its weight a reminder of the heavy responsibility.
You gave him your blade? Oh, Achilles.
I meant to ask, why exactly would you expect to receive a sword from Achilles?
Oh, as an offering. Just a routine offering from someone who gazed into your eyes and told you you were special. That's all. I left a rose on his breastplate. Got something in my eye. Keep going.
That's where we need to go. Whoa. Oh, I don't think I can make that.
There's no way across.
I like that he could jump, you know, like he can really get some air. Look at that. Right over the tree. Jump over these guys. I feel like it's sort of disrespectful, but...
Prometheus, stop with the mortal pity party and get to the action part.
Fine.
Now that's more like it.
The adamantine shed by Typhon's minions, metal of the gods, threw itself to Fenyx. Unlike the mortal flesh, which had been frozen into marble, the pomegranate sprung forth defiantly, bursting with life.
A lot of poetry for something they're just gonna stick in their mouth.
Isn't that what the best poetry is about?
Dive. That's cool. We can't run yet. We haven't learned how to run yet. You gotta walk before you run. And you gotta walk for a while, I guess. I'm sorry about the desyncing, you guys.
Hello?
There's nothing unusual on my end. And OBS isn't dropping frames. There's plenty of bandwidth.
I found your axe!
I really don't know.
Fenyx approached the axe, feeling it call.
YouTube is extremely temperamental, though. And we're honestly very lucky that I don't have problems all the time.
Must be a copy. Although...
But before Fenyx could claim it, the axe was pulled into the pit by a terrible force.
Who knocks upon my door?
No one?
You think that old trick will work on me? Come into my parlor, said the Cyclops to the sailor.
Well, that's the end of Fenyx. Perfectly passable storytelling. I won't lie, there were moments that dragged, but you really got me with that ending. Now, let's settle up. Time for you to help me against Typhon.
It's not over yet. Not by a long shot.
What is this place?
All right, actually, there's one thing that I can try, and I hope it doesn't like terminate the link to the stream, but it will stop the stream momentarily. But it is the only other thing that I can think of. Yeah, everything else looks great. I don't know. All right, we're gonna try this. We'll be right back. Hopefully. All right. I don't know if we're back. There's a chance that we're not. And that I'm all alone. But then again, I can't be sure. So let me know. If you're there, you see me, I see you. Good. So far, so good. Hopefully stopping and reconnecting the stream cleared the tubes. I guess we'll see. I guess we will see.
What was this strange place?
It's Tartarus.
Just exactly where had Fenyx landed?
Tartarus! The nasty abyss where I imprisoned Typhon. He must have opened rifts into the vaults of the underworld when he escaped. You know it, I know it. Say it!
Fenyx wasn't, sure.
I hate you!
But aren't you intrigued?
No! Keep going.
You are either brave, little one, or very foolish. Let's see if you can meet my challenge, or if you will fall like all the others.
Who are you? Hello?
I could jump across platforms, come on. Moving platforms? Not a problem. Press 1 to use health potion and 2 to use a stamina potion. I don't think I need health, so. There's more thingies down there.
I can't see you yet, but I will.
Check, check. Check. Delay check. Delay check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Are we in sync? Or is it gone bye, bye, bye? Hey, wings.
What's this? Wings?
I just said that.
And his hands over them, noticing that several pieces were missing.
Synced at the moment.
Had the rip
Fingers crossed.
They seem to be man-made. I wonder how they work. If they even work.
Oh, golden boy. Look at all the gold. Oh, what a cool way to double jump. I always love it when a double jump is powered by some sort of thing, you know?
Axe.
The axe of Atalanta, deadliest of hunters, swiftest of heroes, fallen at the hands of Typhon.
Didn't I change him into a lion?
You turned a lot of people into a lot of things.
I need to stop drinking.
Now you fall, little one.
Finish him.
You're still standing? I sense something more in you.
You can stun your enemies by filling their stun gauge. And then they just can't believe it. Oh, yeah, pressure switch. I'm a big fan of pressure switches.
A bolt from my lightning!
Scattered, hidden by Typhon.
It's over! Fenyx is Helios ash! No one can handle those bolts but me!
Oh, really?
Go! I just got it. Sort of off topic, but I saw a post on Reddit in the Steam controller subreddit where someone was asking if they can achieve a flick stick type of control that wasn't like region specific on the touchpad, but rather rotation amount specific. To where they said something like if you go from 6 o'clock on the touchpad and then circle around clockwise or counterclockwise to 12 o'clock, it would perform a 180. And I think you could do that if you use a scroll wheel on your right touchpad and then you use mouse deltas. You'd have to figure out the amount to put in there for each of them and then adjust the sensitivity, and it would achieve that. It would be very, very snappy, though, you know? It wouldn't be smooth, unfortunately. So it's probably not a solution, but I feel a little bit of resolution now, having had this thought. Your dumb butt hit refresh when you went to check the syncing, and now you don't know again because it's refreshed. Yeah, I have a question. When it's desunk, is it the game audio, is it my audio, or is it both? Because I did update my video drivers today on Chell. Maybe that's something. That is something different that I've done. But if my audio is also out of sync, then that would have nothing to do with her. All audio and video, both audios. Okay, well that's actually better because, yeah, all right. It very well may just be a bad night for YouTube.
A replica of Zeus's lightning bolt? No way!
Power surged through Fenyx. It was too much for him to bear.
What's happening to me?
Bye-bye, mortal!
And then, just like that, it stopped.
No!
The wings grounded the lightning. They were designed to withstand storms.
That shouldn't be possible.
And yet, this is just the beginning. Having plunged into the abyss of Tartarus and living to tell the tale, Fenyx emerged victorious.
For now?
That stranger I was chasing, where did he go?
With the wings, he would be able to flit across the ancient bridge and find out.
I wouldn't just strap on discarded junk. Who knows where those have been?
Many a night, Fenyx had told tales of a genius, an inventor named Daedalus, and his extraordinary wings. Perhaps someone copied their design, Fenyx mused.
So junk. Ooh, maybe it's cursed.
Yeah, my monitor here shows me exactly what's going out, and everything on my end is good. There's been situations where I leave something that's GPU hungry running on Dog, which is the streaming PC, and it causes problems. Drop frames, things start going out of sync. But those problems are always very apparent on my monitor, and I can see the delay. But everything looks right. Everything looks good on this end. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, refreshing fixes it. I mean, one of the things that I'm thinking is like a sample rate setting, you know, that would be very small, that, you know, in over time it would build, but I double checked that earlier when you guys first mentioned the problem, so I don't think that that's what it is this time. What I could try which would very likely derail the whole thing, but I mean, if it's not working and it's so out of sync that I don't think that it's going to be a successful stream anyway, so we might as well try and make this work. And I'm just curious. So in my mind, I don't know that this is how it works, but in my brain, when I create my stream link in YouTube, I see it creating like a connection to a server. And there's no indication whether that connection from the YouTube link, the actual YouTube stream, to whatever server it's running on, there's no indication if that is a good connection. So I'm wondering if what is happening, if I get rid of that stream, create a new link, it will create a new connection to possibly a less congested server or less problematic in whatever regard it is. Maybe that would fix it. Because that would be on YouTube's end, and it would possibly circumvent the problem. And at this point, I feel compelled to experiment. Because to be honest with you, if I don't, I will be thinking the whole time that this is out of sync. I know what to do. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you now. All right, hold on a sec. It's going to go down. It's going to go down, everybody. Stand by. Stand by. Here we go. All right, look, if this doesn't work and I get lost out there in the ether, just know I care about you all greatly, and I'll find a way to make it back and send you a message.